Good afternoon. It's Memorial Day, May 31st, 2021. Um, and I want to talk about Juan Savin and the book Kid by the Side of the Road. It's kind of funny. I've had a little problem with posting current videos because my iPhone's not connected to my iPad. So anyway, I'm using my MacBook and have some old school stuff on there. And so my last video was from 14 years ago. I do look a little younger. I got all kinds of comments. Um, one, one friend in Canada said I look like the Quaker Oats guy, which was kind of depressing. So, anyway, yeah, that was 14 years ago. The resurrection, I'm grateful for the resurrection, and I'm grateful that we can try to take care of ourselves and eat healthy foods and things like that. I've been taking a lot of coconut oil, trying to clean out, and it works. Coconut oil works. But it's kind of funny, that old video. Yeah. I do have more gray in my hair, and 14 years have gone by. So I've been on YouTube. It was before Google purchased it. So today, I surf the internet like all of you, but probably what makes me kind of different is instead of watching TV for most of my life, I chose to read books. And so I've read a lot of books, and I have a lot of books. And I'll tell you, I thought today I'll review this book, or whatever you want to call it, Kid by the Side of the Road. Because there's people on the internet and people that I like and care about, and other people I disagree with strongly, but I think the people that denigrate Juan Savin, I'll be direct, they're not very intelligent. Okay, they're not well read. They haven't traveled the world, or just well read. They're not well read, or they watch too much TV. And they say, hey, Juan's Wayne Willett or whatever. Well, if Juan's Wayne Willett, then Wayne Willett is a genius. If Juan's JFK Jr., then he's a valiant man. If Juan is Juan, then he's one of the most brilliant people I've ever come across in my life. So that's my opinion. But I'm grateful that I'm able to think independently. And I have a very strong opinion because I've read for tens of thousands of hours. And I think the people that denigrate or cut down Juan or say, well, he hasn't shown his face, it's just his boots, they're not well informed at all. So I thought on this Memorial Day, I'll pull out Kid by the Side of the Road. By the way, I ordered a 10-pack, and they came as promised. And one of them's autographed on the popcorn, just as promised. They came from Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm glad to have them. I sold one to a close friend, but I think they're going for 50 to 75 on eBay right now, and I think it'll be hard to get the first edition in the future. But I'm glad Juan made a great deal. I think they were 20 bucks or less. I think they were less than that. So I bought some, and I guess they're really close friends. I might give them or sell them to them. But on this Memorial Day, okay, let's do deep dive. I'm going to go to page 17, which I noticed this today. Strangely enough, I love all the coded messages. It goes page 16, page 107. So page 17 says 107 at the bottom. So if you're criticizing Juan and you haven't read this book, you're uninformed and you don't know what the heck you're talking about. So everybody that really wants to know the truth, my humble, direct suggestion is read the book. Study this book. So let's check it out. It's heavy duty. Here we go. Page 17. Says page 107, page 17. As part of their religion, they're looking forward to what they perceive as their blessings to materialize from this new day. And they anticipate that part of those benefits will be their ability to eliminate all of those who aren't of their Cain bloodlines, to eliminate any artifact of Adam that isn't commingled with the seed of Cain. You see, they believe that when Cain murdered his brother Abel, Cain wasn't done killing. Adam was going to be next. I never had thought about that. Very profound thought. But I do know that I believe that Juan is extremely intelligent, very close to God, and a valiant warrior for truth. So I frankly I revere Juan 07. I he's exceptional. And these people like him and Trump, they don't have to do this. They do this because they believe in truth. They do this because they want to be their brother's brother. They want to help people out. They want to save the children. They're doing it. They're actively doing it, not saying, and I used to think I'd give up on the world. Forget it. God's going to come and wipe them out. And he is going to wipe out the evil people. And right now, a lot of people, I'm not going to go into the medical stuff, but how sad that people have a foreign substance put into their bodies voluntarily. Kind of blows my mind. Some involuntarily. So this book is amazing. So I'm going to talk a little bit more on page 107 of the book here. The serpent is another name he goes by. Serpents come from the reptilian line of species, which just happens to parallel our world's propagandized idea that aliens are reptilian. So if Lucifer isn't human, and he was able to beguile Eve so that the two of them fathered Cain, after which Eve taught Adam the trick, and she also conceived Adam's child, Abel. Up here before it says Adam did nothing to deserve this. I don't know if Juan just drew a blank on that or just saying that, but Adam is Adam earned his position as the first man on earth. There's a lot of depth to that, but I'm not going to go into it right now. But Adam is exceptional, is and was, and continues to be. So, and then he talks about Eve taught Adam a trick, and she also conceived Adam's child. Well, thank God that Adam and Eve mated, okay? And because Adam and Eve are our parents, going way, way back. Then we're really looking at a situation where the same fight that's been going on since Genesis is still being fought today, and it continues to be about which bloodline inherits the earth. It's kind of interesting, but that video I put up from 14 years ago talks about God, and it talks about the aspects of God of male and female, which is true, and then it goes into the Elohim, however you spell that, which can be means the council of gods. But when we go to the next life, we're just not going to be playing harps and fishing and golf. There's going to be a very tight bond between male and female. That's what's going on in the highest heavens. Another subject there. Love that man. There's a man of God right there. A man of action, a man of God. And people that don't get that one, they're clueless. They don't care about little children, or they don't know about little children. That man is saving little children. Oh, here's another thing. Trump was doing he was doing this. Well, I had a friend from Texas who was one of the nicest guys I ever met, became my best friend. He came from Texas, and he kept going, hook 'em horns, hook 'em horns. So, plus people say rock on. So I don't think this is satanic Illuminati when everybody does it, because I know in Texas, from my friend, that meant hook 'em horns, okay? So, are people going to say I'm a Satanist because, I guess in Texas they do hook 'em horns, or some people do rock on. So a lot of people, they'll get one little thing on Trump and they run with it. Like, Rrr. The glory of God is intelligence, or in other words, light and truth. We've got to use what God has given us and do I'm kind of sick of hearing do your own research. Sometimes you don't have to research. Sometimes your discernment will immediately tell you what's true. You'll just get it. And true descendants of Abraham, a lot of them have that ability. Just they know. Some people can figure out people in 5 seconds. Some people can figure out a truth in 5 seconds. So back to this. As long as there is even one direct descendant from Adam alive, these monarchical and monetary Cain bloodlines still believe that person must be killed so that only hybrid descendants of Eve can inherit the earth. Pretty heavy statement. In other words, the 13 families want to kill me. And you, if you're a descendant of Adam and you're not a hybrid. Lucifer, Satan, the devil, or whatever you want to call him, is then an equal with God because in order to remain God, he goes into, Satan's ambitions. Well, and once you open up the book, you kind of keep going. Look at this. Look, he's got the Georgia Guidestones, and Juan puts in here, one of the goals of the 13 bloodlines, maintain humanity under 500,000 in perpetual balance with nature. He gets into ancient worship. So Juan goes very deep. And these people that say, Juan's, he's Wayne Willett, and he's not, he doesn't show his face. I'm controlling my emotions. Duh, and duh. I mean, people, it's like, oh, man. In war, this is a spiritual war that's going on right now. I'm showing my face because I believe Field McConnell, and you gotta just, I've had a blessed life, and I want to tell the truth before I die. I want to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell the truth. And I think the Lord has prepared me to tell the truth. I'm an unworthy servant, but I want to tell the truth, especially after reading hundreds of books. So I'm going to get into a little bit of truth. And these people that, whine about 107, they just really they're not intelligent. They're not very intelligent. So I'm going to show you just some of the research that I've read, which corroborates what Juan has talked about, okay? So I think one of the original researchers on this was Eustace Mullins. And I've heard him speak a couple times. Eustace Mullins isn't with us anymore. But he did the world order, and he put together things, and just, it goes back to, the Beatles are created, the Rolling Stones are created, Tavistock. I mean, there's these people actually plan things out. You're growing up, you think Beatles. Well, the Beatles, it's a front group. Same with the Monkees. Goes into Laurel Canyon, all that kind of stuff. So Eustace Mullins figured out the world order, and Eustace Mullins did this book, The Curse of Canaan, which, this is the kind of stuff Juan talks about in The Kid by the Side of the Road. It's very deep dogma and doctrine. Yep. I got where is it? Yeah, that book right there, Morals and Dogma. The forbidden book, right? Got it right there. No, right. That's right there. Right there. And then the same box from the other video. That's weird. I guess I'm reversed. Morals and Dogma. It's pretty heavy duty, but they finally get down to that they worship the God of light. They worship Lucifer. And so that gets into when was Masonry totally corrupted? Scottish Rite, these different rites, the Illuminati. I believe that George Washington was a great man, a good man. And I understand a bunch of them were Masons. I went to, I guess it's Alexandria, Washington, and I've been through that shrine there. But I think going back, there's good Masons. And then I think that the Rothschilds and those no bueno people took over a bunch of stuff. The Rothschilds, and in The Kid by the Side of the Road, of course, he addresses that. It's just profound, deep stuff that's put together. And come on, let's see where that is. Oh, he goes into ancient cultures. Let's see. There's the one with Rothschild. Where's it? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Look, permit me to control the money and of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws. Meyer Amschel Rothschild. So they've done that. And people that love the Constitution and love freedom, we don't want private people controlling our money. Federal Reserve is a private bank. I knew that before I went to Harvard. I've known it for decades. And people are like, what? But yeah, just like Juan says many times, it's about as federal as a Federal Express. The Federal Reserve, and by the way, it's been taken down, subsumed into the Treasury, and that's a bunch of great stuff. So Juan talks about the monetary system. He talks about Satan. The book is very deep and profound. And if you haven't studied it, you're missing out on one of the best books in history. So one of the original researchers into these satanic things was Eustace Mullins. Great book. Curse of Canaan, World Order. And then Writ of Martyrs. He started doing this stuff, and the bad guys start threatening him, in the 50s. But for some reason, Eustace Mullins was kept alive, and he, dug deep, like into the Committee of 300 and these secret societies, goes way up. And then this book, I kind of broke it out. I haven't really read much of it. Beneath the Tide, Council of 9, Council of 13, even the Council of 3, which are not even human beings. But you study all this stuff, and then you realize that Juan Savin is extremely brilliant and knows history to an amazing degree. So he's prepared to fight valiantly on the side of light and truth. God bless Juan Savin. And, I don't know for sure who he is. Okay? I don't know. There's so many things, and people go, it's a psyop. Well, it's Jesus Christ working through a powerful, intelligent man to teach the truth to those that have ears to hear. And I wish there was more people, but I'm not surprised. A lot of people are like, oh no. And if you're cutting down Juan Savin and don't have him figured out, then okay, here's truth. Okay. Here's God and truth, and here's Satan. You're kind of hanging out in here. You're not going towards the truth. Juan Savin is a man of truth. He's trying to get the truth out there. And I completely believe from all the evidence I've seen, JFK Jr. is alive. 1999 fake plane crash. It all makes sense to me. Look who he's running against for senator. I didn't know it at the time. But like 9/11, I knew instantly 9/11 was an inside job. I started laughing that 9/11 happened. And no offense to people that were hurt in it, but it's like, of course it's an inside job. You think some guy in a cave's going to fly these guys that were, these guys trained down in Florida on Cessnas are going to make it through the air defense? No. They were told to stand down. Field would explain that, and plus it just was odd with the beginning. And then here's one that has kind of this book here. This guy, H. Verlin Anderson, he was the first general authority that Ezra Taft Benson called to the Quorum of the 70. He was also a professor of accounting at BYU. That goes pretty deep. It's not just the church in Rome. It goes really deep. So today I just want to say that I'm very grateful for Juan Savin. And some of us know things that were in here because of our former research. Now, some things I didn't know, or I haven't heard. And Juan makes a point in the book. It's not important necessarily what Juan believes or I believe. It's what they believe and what their agenda is. So a lot of us have known about the New World Order for most of our lives, since we're in our 20s or 30s, maybe for 40 years. And that's Satan's plan. Can't buy, sell, or trade without the mark of the beast. And oh man, stuff is going on with that right now. We're in the epic battle. God does win in the end, but we'll be judged according to which lane we're in, which side we choose. And if we choose to just say, hey, whatever, I'm going to eat popcorn, there's certain things we can't, like the military is super active right now. How do you find that out? You're not going to find out from no verdadero noticias, right? You're not going to find out. So you get things here and there, and then you talk to somebody that was in Washington, D.C., or their mother was there, and then the inauguration is a sunny day with with the two actors that have played him, at least two actors, and it was raining that day on January 20th. So you put these things together, it becomes clear we're in epic battle. I'm grateful to be here in beautiful Utah. I'm grateful to be able to travel, and I'm going to study this book for many, many hours, cross-reference it, pray, ponder, because I want to be on the side of truth. I don't want to be deceived. And people like, oh man, this guy's nuts. I was looking at some of the old comments, from a long time ago, because I have been on and off on YouTube for 14 years. And I called myself Man of Truth because I wanted to tell the truth, because it seems like nobody that was close to me wanted to listen. But there are people all over the world that do want to know the truth. I want to know the truth, so I'm sharing the truth on this day, Memorial Day. I'm grateful for President Trump. There's a lot of stuff, the Constitution, the more you know it, the more you see how it went. And Juan explains this ad nauseum because people don't seem to get it. So when they go, Juan's not saying it, Juan is saying everything that's prudent and rational to say. So when he says, look at it. Look how corrupt things were. Pence, Pence was taken out after an assassination attempt on Trump. So Pence has been out of circulation for 2 years. So it was fake Pence. So anyway, it is kind of a show. It is a show. It's a movie. I was reading in one of the books that talked about Punch and Judy. I'm not that old, but I guess Punch and Judy was kind of a thing going on. The guy in Beneath the Tide talks about Punch and Judy. And he talks about the Committee of 300, and he got his information from here. So you got to choose the right lane. Do what you can. I'm doing what I can with this channel. I'm going to think I'll drive around and maybe fly my Trump Kennedy flags today. But it makes sense to me. And I feel pretty confident, totally confident defending my position because I've spent the time to read for thousands of hours. So it all makes sense. So Kid by the Side of the Road is a great book. And if you didn't get it, I didn't get mine for 6 months, then I got them. But try to get them, and maybe don't, some postal worker threw it away 5 months ago. Don't leave the movement because you didn't get your book. Try to get a book somewhere. If you're here in Utah, I'd read it with you. I'd read it with you right at the park somewhere. But we're going to have more gatherings. Going to read this, and then, of course, we got Jim Caviezel's movie's going to come out. A lot of fake things. You got to go and sign up for this on the internet. It's going to come out. That's going to be powerful. But it's line upon line, precept upon precept, and you build up this strength of truth to fight this war. And like Lynn Wood and these other people, put on the full armor of God. Or just do the best you can. Go for it. God bless America. I kind of wish I was in Jupiter, Florida right now. Those people, how cool is that? Being driving around your boat with Trump flags. I'd have a Trump Kennedy flag. Might get into some extra conversations down there. God bless America. It's the final battle. It's a fight between good and evil. And this is how it meant to be. We chose in pre-existence to be here right now, just prior to the second coming of Jesus Christ. Satan is raging. It's not over yet. Sure, a lot of the bad guys have been taken out at the highest levels. But there's a bunch of mid-level management that hasn't been taken out yet. And they're still corrupt. Reminds me, back when, I think about Harvard Business. I was at Harvard Business School, and people were like, ooh, Mexico's corrupt. And I knew about the conspiracy before I went to Harvard Business School, and I thought, you people have no idea. The United States is corrupt. Secret combinations have taken over. And it goes way back into the 1860s, 1870s. The Constitution rarely is fully implemented. We need to go back to the Constitution. Gold and silver is real money, etc. Freedom of speech. The first 10 amendments, not the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto, which have been implemented. And I think more and more we'll be able to talk about truths. But people need to be informed to be leaders and to be true patriots. They need to know the Constitution. They need to defend the Constitution. And Juan Savin knows, defends the Constitution, and is very aware of world economic and spiritual history. God bless him. God bless America, and I hope this message is useful to some of you folks out there. Thanks for watching the channel. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate the support too. Some people really came through and really helped out. So I'm kind of cool with spending Memorial Day by myself and cleaning out with coconut oil. And God bless America. God bless the USA. Rock on. Ciao.